Everybody, it's Dr. Sam Robbins on my way to the gym. It's a Sunday morning and I don't really like working out too early in the morning. I've had like only one meal and I usually need at least a couple meals to get some food in my system and wake up. I'm not like that morning person, but then again, I'm not really a night person either, but who knows what kind of person I am. But anyhow, so I'm on my way to the gym. And today I wanted to talk about the difference between an enhanced bodybuilder, workout guy, athlete versus the natural. And enhanced, I mean basically they're on steroids or different performance enhancement drugs. PEDs is what people call them these days. Even growth hormones and so forth, or SARMs. And then the natural guy. And of course, in that we have different variations. Natural can, you can be natural at age 20 and you're going to get a different workout result than if you're natural at age 50 and natural if you're at age 70. Additionally, natural also falls into genetics, guys with great genetics versus guys with average genetics versus guys with below average genetics. And all of that can also be applied to guys who take steroids. There are people who take steroids and can gain 20, 30, 40 pounds of muscle. And there's guys who take steroids and barely gain 10. And it's real. So genetics always matters. And secondly, again, now today's topic is about hormones. So what's the difference between the guys working out? How should they work out? When you're on steroids, your protein synthesis is up all the time because of the drugs. Whether you're taking a short-acting or long-acting steroid, injectable or oral, doesn't matter. You're pretty much, the protein synthesis is up all the time. And what that means is that you can work out and hit a muscle like chest once a week and just do high volume, and that's fine because that'll continue on for the rest of the week. Especially since if you're going to do like 20 sets, you can just, the protein synthesis will be there. You can recover from that huge volume. But when you're natural, you need to create protein synthesis. And I've spoken about this in other videos. You need to enhance it. You need to enhance it naturally. Obviously, one of the ways is to take higher amounts of protein. But the best way is to work out a muscle. When you work out a muscle, you temporarily increase protein synthesis for like 24 to 48 hours. Let's just say 2 days. So when you work out chest, the protein synthesis in that area is enhanced. Also, different anabolic hormones and growth factors is also enhanced in that area. Like, let's say, for example, IGF and mechanic growth factors and so forth. So all of that is enhanced. Let's just say, again, using the chest muscle, protein synthesis is up. So you're very anabolic, but for a couple of days. So then, the anabolism drops back down and then you have to start over again. While the steroid enhanced guy is just anabolic, higher protein synthesis all the time. So in an ideal world, a natural guy would hit a muscle twice a week, preferably 3 times a week. Okay. And I'll talk about Arnold's workout in the old days. And Arnold, would do the extreme of both. He would hit the muscle, he would hit chest, for example, 3 times a week and with high volume. So he would do 20 sets 3 times a week. Now, did he use as much steroids as the guys use now? No. Did he have great genetics? Yes. Could he have grown more and gotten bigger if he didn't hit so much volume? Probably. Nevertheless, as you can tell, he had great genetics, but he still hit the muscle 2-3 times a week. He believed that as soon as you hit the muscle a couple of days later, you got to hit it again because then it would shrink. That's not necessarily the case, but he intuitively knew that you needed to hit the muscle 2 to 3 times a week. And, I think in a previous video, I may have mentioned that in the 70s, that's how it was done, 3 times a week. And then in the 80s, it was twice a week. And then in the 90s and beyond, and Dorian and everything started becoming once a week. So keeping that in mind. Now, the more often you hit the muscle, let's say 2 times or 3 times a week, the less volume you can do, because volume matters at the end of the week. So again, if you're going to hit a muscle 3 times a week, you know, you might, let's just say, do a total of 12 sets. You know, instead of doing 12 sets once a week, it's better to do like 4 sets 3 times a week in an ideal world. So you have to keep that in mind. You can't do, you know, high volume and high intensity and hit it more often and do all that at once like Arnold did, because you just can't recover. The other way is that, just keep in mind, when you take steroids, you're both anabolic. That means your testosterone levels and higher amounts of androgens makes you anabolic. Protein synthesis has increased. And at the same time, you're anti-catabolic. And that means that your cortisol levels, despite being higher, maybe because of the extra stress, the steroids, the androgens, block off the cortisol levels. So they are both anabolic and anti-catabolic. In fact, steroids over time are thought to be more anti-catabolic, because cortisol level really, you know, just tears everything down. When you're natural, you have to really watch your cortisol levels. I know people will say, oh, it doesn't matter, it's temporary, but it does. That's why sleep is so important. It lowers cortisol. That's why you got to do more intensity, but not too much intensity, because you can burn out. Again, nervous system burns out, cortisol levels go up. So it's a fine act, fine balancing act between that. So again, if you're natural, ideally you like to hit it twice, maybe 3 times a week, all things considered. At the very least, you can hit the big muscle groups, right? Let's say quads, chest, and back twice a week, for example, and you can hit the other body parts once a week, because they're going to get hit indirectly the other days. Example, biceps get hit when you do back, triceps get hit when you do shoulders and chest, hamstrings will get work when you do quads, any kind of pressing movement. So at the very least, you can focus on doing the big muscle groups, chest, back, and quads twice a week. You know, again, time is always a factor with all of us. And then you would hit the smaller, you know, muscle groups that get hit indirectly already once from the big ones. Hit those only once a week. So they're getting hit directly once, indirectly once, so that's twice a week. You can do it that way. You know, in the most ideal world, you would work out 6 days a week, twice daily, hit every muscle group twice a week, you know, double split, do all that stuff, eat a good meal before and after each workout, and take a nap after each workout. That would maximize protein synthesis and reduce cortisol and catabolic hormones. And that would be the most perfect scenario in the world. But most of us can't live that. We have lives, we have work, we have family, we have responsibilities. So keeping that in mind, again, if you're natural, you also, I believe, you need to keep cycling your workouts. You can't keep pushing. If you're feeling good, do a little bit extra that day. If you're not feeling so good, put in a little bit less. Volume always matters, but it only matters if you're able to recover. That's what steroids always do also, is not only do they increase protein synthesis, they speed up recovery. So things just happen quicker. So you can repair a muscle quicker. Your nervous system gets repaired quicker. Everything just happens quicker, just like when you're in your 20s. So optimize and maximize protein synthesis. Below this video, you know, I'm going to have linked to 2 of the best things you can do, and actually 3 of the best things. One of them is increase your testosterone naturally. Second one is decrease cortisol levels. And the third one would be to get deeper, better quality sleep. Do those 3, and you're going to maximize both muscle growth as well as fat loss. So take a look underneath this video, and at the same time, let me know what questions you guys want to know more about, topics, whatever you want. This is for you. I enjoy bodybuilding more than anything else, probably because I don't have good genetics. So I've tried to eke out every little muscle that I can gain, every little ounce. I've tried everything, you know, to do this workout, that workout, different types of diets and so forth. I try to just maximize everything naturally so I can maintain it and not have to go to the ups and downs that, you know, drug guys have to deal with. And obviously stay injury free, which is a huge thing. You young guys are taken for granted, but when you get older, you don't want pain, because when you got pain, you can't work out, you can't push. That automatically causes you to lose muscle, So then you don't look good, you don't feel good, and that depresses you even more, makes it even harder to go to the gym. So again, stay injury free, up your protein synthesis, what we discussed today, increase testosterone, decrease cortisol, and get deep quality sleep, because that's going to make a huge factor. Take a look at underneath this video. As always, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell icon to be notified when these similar videos come out, and leave your questions and comments below so I can make additional videos based on what you want. All right, thanks. Have a great day. Have a great workout. Stay happy and healthy.